Alright, so in this video we'll be showing you how to connect a domain to your website. It is very simple. So when you go into your website settings, you'll see the domain section where you can actually connect your custom domain. If you don't have a domain, don't worry, you can purchase from anywhere, or you can just use your system domain. That's of course possible, and you can change it from here as well. But you have a domain, and let's connect it now to your website. Just click on connect an existing domain. And all you have to do is enter your domain name, which we purchased this one. So this is one that we just purchased for the example, and I'll show you now how simple it is to connect it to your website. Now you can purchase a domain basically anywhere, and I'll show you now in one of such platforms how to connect it. So just click on connect, and you'll be given an IP, an A and C name records that you need to add to that domain. It's very simple, so don't worry. So just copy the IP and go to your domain provider. So here we opened a domain provider such as Namecheap. This is a company that we like to use, so if you don't have a domain, you can purchase from there. It's a really cool place for domains. Now we've purchased this domain, and let me show you how simple it is to connect it. Just click on the arrow and go to manage the domain. Now different platforms have different ways to edit them, but they always have this DNS editor for the records. So it's like DNS zone editor, it might be called, or something like that. Basically a place to edit your DNS records. So in this case it is the advanced DNS. So now there inside you can see what DNS records we have. In this case we don't have anything, so you can click on add new record. So in some places you might already have an A and a C name records, so edit those. So you don't have to, you should not have two of the same records in terms of value and where it's pointing to. So if you have another IP for an A record, just change it to the new IP. So in this case we're adding an A record with a host being @ If it doesn't allow you to put @ just leave it blank. It should work with blank as well, and put the IP and click on save changes. That's it. That was for the A record, and the C name record is basically adding www as value, and then use the domain, whatever the domain is, as a host, and as value the domain. So here we can add a new record. We select the C name as option, we put www as the instructions, and the target is the domain that we have connected. And that's it. That's all the connection that you need to do to connect your domain to your website. If you are having a subdomain instead of domain like this, a root domain, you would just be adding, so let's just show you here an example. Let's say that you wanted to connect let's say site dot the domain. So you can just add here, instead of @ you just add the subdomain, whatever that is. Let's just call it subdomain for the sake of the example, and again add the IP actually. And then for a CNAME record you would just add www and the name of the subdomain. And here for the value you would be adding subdomain, like this. So basically you're replacing it, the subdomain, because that would be where it would be pointing to, and the www subdomain will go to the subdomain without the www. That's it. That's if you want to connect a subdomain. Just an example of how easy it is to do that as well, in case you're doing a subdomain instead of a root domain. And that's all. That's all you have to do for a connection of a domain. Again, you can purchase it anywhere and connect it absolutely the same way. And if you have another A record from before pointing anywhere else, just make sure that it points to this new IP that is given to you here. So it can be different, so make sure that you copy it correctly and add it to your domain. So this is it. This is how simple it is to connect a custom domain to your website.